Hi, this is Kim Watson of Easy Trader. Welcome to a review of the key economic news events which are being released in the coming week. So the headlines really: inflation, rates decisions and employment. So let's have a look through. In summary then, last week we saw the dollar strengthen and continue strengthening based on uncertainty around the economies of the euro and certainly the pound. Also the FOMC report came out, which was still positive towards the hawkish side in terms of interest rate increases sooner rather than later, so the dollar's continued its strengthening from that point of view. This week starts slow, but there's some key economic news events. Let's have a look. So Monday, nothing at all. Tuesday, we start running into inflation numbers. Now this last report on the UK gave us about a 20 pip move. It's the sort of figures we often see around this. If it starts coming in negative, we could see some decent movement starting to occur. They'll be selling off of the pound if it comes in negative. We're expecting zero. If it comes in less than zero, then we could see, I mean, it gave us a 0.1 surprise last time, I believe. If it comes in less than zero, that could see the pound falling. The US core retail sales, they gave quite a big move last time. We saw a 58 pip move. I think there may be some other news around it, but that was the main event I could see. There's a 0.7 miss and it gave a 58 pip move. So we're seeing much more volatility around these numbers now in the US. We have at the same time, we got the PPI. This didn't come out at the same time last time, but it gave around about a 17 pip move on a 0.7 miss. So it's sitting at minus 0.5 there. So some movements around those sort of numbers. So looking at Wednesday, we've got the European interest rate decision at 12:45. I do not expect any movement off that whatsoever. Last time it never did, and I wouldn't expect too much. Draghi's press conference is a difficult one to really work out what's going to happen there. Last time it rallied on him talking about all the positives, and then he admitted that the positives will only be met if the financial easing starts working, and then it just fell like a brick. So really, it's the great unknown around his speeches. It can move a good 100 pips, that's to be sure. Then we got the Bank of Canada interest rate decision and press conferences. On the interest rate decision itself, it moved about 20 pips last time. I don't think there's any expectation of any changes there. Let me just check. Minimum bid rate is Bank of Canada. Yeah, expected to stay the same, 0.75. So any surprise of that, of course, will give us significantly bigger moves. But for now, that remains likely that it's only going to be a smallish move. And the conference at 16:15 may obviously give a bigger or smaller movement depending on what's happened to the interest rate decision. Looking forward then, Thursday, the only figure we really got out here is the Australian employment report at 2:30. That can give some decent moves, but last time we gave very little as it all came in line. Friday the 17th then, we've got the UK employment figures. Now, really looking at the average earnings more than anything else, and that was down 0.4 to 1.8 last time after 5 months of increases, and it saw quite a big move in terms of the pound at that particular point. So I think we lost about 80 points. I seem to remember it may have been less than that, but it was a significant move. Let me just check. 78 pip move in fact. So 78 pip move on a drop on the average earnings, and although employment was down to 5.6, it's the average earnings that's the big number at the moment. So watch out for that tomorrow, Friday. And then finally at the end of the week we got the US inflation figure. Now it came in at 0.2 versus 0.2 last time, and gave a 54 pip move on the euro dollar. I think people were expecting something worse than that, although the headline figure came in online. So we just got to watch this figure. If it was to drop significantly, we could see the dollar do a bit of a turnaround for a short while at least. It'll be another one of those Fridays where we just see it just roll over. I'm just looking at the figures here, and it's expected to come in at 0.2 again this time. So will it be interesting to see what actually happens here? They tend to look more towards the actually it was 0.2 versus 0.1 last time on the core figure, but the headline figure was 0.2 versus 0.2. So we'll see how that runs, but as I say, could be some big volatility around that event as well. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great week. Bye for now.